So, let me know. All right, with me here, why don't you introduce yourself to the crowd?
Hey all, Tim Gallus. Been here with Turbine on and off since DDO went live first, way back. Happy 10th anniversary. Very
And
cool.
you are currently working in what's called EQA. So
Yep.
what the heck is EQA?
E-commerce and integration QA. So we test all the things you buy for DDO and other games here. We also test a lot of the back-end integration systems. Yeah.
Which means like store sales,
Store sales. Yeah.
account management related things,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
That kind of stuff.
All right. And you said you've been with Turbine since way back.
Since way back. This is my third time at Turbine.
Okay.
Actually, I've left a couple of times. Once to finish a degree, once to work at another company. But I do like Turbine, so I keep coming back. When I first worked here, DDO hadn't been released yet. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So when you
way
first
back.
got hired, what were you doing? Do you remember?
QA. A friend of mine who worked at Turbine was working on DDO at the time and knew I loved Dungeons and Dragons. I played in games with him every other week or so, and I was in college but looking for a job, and he thought I'd be perfect for it, so interviewed and came on board. It was a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what do you remember about DDO's launch?
Way back, they had me on the night shifts, so once we launched, we had people watching it pretty much 24/7. I really enjoyed our game from the start, so I spent a lot of time playing it actually back in those days. I still do. But yeah, back then, when things were going good during that launch and night shift, we were right in the game playing it as well. So, yeah.
All right. So so you remember like some of the bugs, I imagine. When you'd be playing in the first couple of weeks, you'd be like, okay, now
Yeah.
what do you do? And I better let the team know about that come Monday or whatever, huh?
There were definitely some interesting bugs.
Yeah.
So what I remember most about bugging things is they also had us testing before it came out for a lot of the things that they showed off at E3 and other big events. And one of the things I remember early on is they set up a few dungeons in what was the marketplace at that time, and they closed it off with buildings all around it. But they really didn't want anyone to escape from that area into the rest of the game, because it was just put in the rest of the game. The game hadn't been launched yet, and there was a lot of other parts to it. So part of the testing was making sure no one could escape from that area into the rest of the game. And playing the game, I'm sure everybody knows there are lots of ways to raise your jump score, other maneuverability things. So we were finding ways to jump up and across buildings and escape out, and we kept passing bugs back that, well, if you jump here and then there and you raise your jump score to this and there, you can get out into the marketplace. And they'd fix that, and then we'd find another one. And eventually our ways to escape from it got so convoluted that they sent it back and said, good for you. We're not fixing it any further. But,
Nice. Trying to think, what else should we add? Like, anything else? Any stories you remember? Anything else you want to add to the stream here?
Other good stories. So early on in the game, you couldn't leave the marketplace without going through or you couldn't leave the harbor, the early harbor area, without going through a number of quests. Before the game released, we had some internal play days, and people really did want to get out and explore the game, but they had to spend a bunch of time going through all these quests first. And as QA has tested, and we play a lot, we'd learned ways to escape early. So I got in character as a halfling, and a friend of mine was playing human wizard or something, and I'd go up to people as the halfling underground and tell them we could get them out of the harbor and escape into the general game. No questions, come with me. And I'd lead them over, and I'd tell them where to jump and how to get over the wall without running the quests, so they could play the rest of the game. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much, and happy anniversary, everyone.
All right, sounds great. All right, I am going to